As much as I hate to say this, I have never been a person that thought Coach Tomlin was a great coach. I thought he was a good coach. A good coach gets you to play to your potential. And right now, the players we have on that team, I have seen play. I know they can do it.
Mhm.
I have seen them do it, and they're not playing up to their potential. And I know the Steelers historically don't move on from coaches. But I think it's time that history be made, because right now, the only history we're making is being the worst Pittsburgh Steelers team statistically almost in the history of the organization.
Okay, so that was Steelers legend James Harrison with obviously very strong words for Mike Tomlin. RC, you know James very well. You obviously played for the Steelers. Are those fair comments by him?
First off, James is one of my close friends. I don't just know James, right? Like, you know, my son, my kids call him Uncle Debo. Yeah. So I think that's the first thing. So before I would ever talk about him, I'm going to talk to him. And initially I was like, Debo, that's wrong. I was like, well, who's great then? And he's like, well, Bill's great and Andy's great. And I was like, so I get it, that's your only criteria. I was like, he's like, so you tell me why he's great. And I was like, I said, his leadership. I said, the way he connects the locker room. I said, the way that every week you went into a football game, when you went into that football game, you knew the exact path to winning and you knew the exact path to losing. That with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph and last year Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, he got those teams to overachieve. To me, Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches that's ever lived, and he's one of the greatest coaches of this era. And what makes me sad is when you watch the product that's on the field right now, you have to agree with what James is saying. You have to say that Mike Tomlin is not getting this team prepared to play up to their potential. That there should be a conversation between Mike Tomlin and Omar Khan, not if we should fire Mike Tomlin. I've said this time and time again. Mike Tomlin is unfireable in my opinion. But maybe it's best that Mike Tomlin's voice is elsewhere. Maybe it's best that you tear this entire thing down, because what's happened for the last 10 years, as Stephen A. knows that this is the worst place to be, is they've been in championship purgatory.
That's right.
And that's not a place where the Pittsburgh Steelers need to be.
Since 2016, the Steelers are the #1 team in the NFL, winning 60% of their games, who have not won a playoff game. James Harrison, I'm not tight with him like RC is, but I got mad love for James Harrison. He's always been good to me. And, you know, and I like my life, too, because that brother, is, he will hurt me.
He's not acting either.
He's not acting. You understand? I mean, I ain't going to say the person's name, but somebody ticked him off one time at a podcast. He wanted to hurt the brother. Like, let me talk to him. Let me talk, because I wanted the brother to live. You understand what I'm saying? This is James Harrison we're talking about here. Here's my only problem with James Harrison and what he said. What he said about Mike Tomlin this season is more than fair. Mm-hmm. It was the line when he said, I never viewed him as a great coach. It was like, damn. Because he played for the man. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, did you have to say that? You know, and the reason why I say that is because if you're going to do it, and I don't want to use the word respect because I got profound respect for James Harrison, but if you really, really wanted that element of the comment to be respected, then go Terry Bradshaw. Say it about him while he winning. See what I'm saying? To say it now, what you've been feeling about the totality of his coaching resume is an ouch moment, and you found yourself saying, was that really right? Was that really necessary? Terry Bradshaw said it years ago about Mike Tomlin, when Mike Tomlin was winning. Whether you agree to disagree, it's the 4-time champion, Super Bowl champion quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers that said that about Mike Tomlin when he was winning. That's different than saying it now.
But
you
so here is why I reached out to James.
Sure.
Terry Bradshaw saying it isn't a man that's connected to Mike.
I agree with
Tomlin.
that.
Just right. And so when Terry Bradshaw says it, Terry Bradshaw to me is saying it as a Steeler great, but also as an analyst outside of the locker room. Yeah. When James Harrison says it, people give more credence to it because you played for him.
Right.
You won a Super Bowl with him. You were the Defensive Player of the Year with Mike Tomlin. And so the question starts to be asked, well, why do you say it? Give me the specifics. And so for me, there's always that level of respect, that level of love where the insides and the insights of what I know about him are between me and him. And if I ever got to the point where that was that strong of a statement, Mike Tomlin would know that before I said it.
Right.
And I called James, and James told me that Mike T already knew he felt that way.
Got it.
Okay. All right. Well, that clears some things up. Regardless, Steelers are still 6-6. They're still tied for first place in their division. There's still a lot of season left, and they could still make the postseason. All right. Dan Orlovsky likes to be definitive in his takes, and so we're going to play a little game of Definitive Dan. He's going to tell us what's on his mind, and then we will react to said definitive statements. Go ahead, Dio.
Number one, everybody's making way too big a deal about the Jaxson Dart hits. Everyone's constantly talking about Jaxson Dart's got to change the style of play. Jaxson Dart takes too many hits. Availability is the best ability. We have heard this way too many times. We all know that Jaxson Dart's going to change the style of play, but everyone's talking about the young man as a completely reckless style of player that's not going to get into his second year of the NFL. He plays quarterback. The talk's about New England. He's on the road versus one of the best teams in football, another young quarterback. It's Monday Night Football, and everyone's like, please, please stop making contact with the other team. Will you guys stop being so soft? It's a physical sport. You should know that as much as anybody. Jaxson Dart, everyone take a deep breath with the he's got to take less hits thoughts.
Yeah, that's wrong. And I mean, you know the type of hits that he's taking and why, as the quarterback, your responsibility goes above just any individual play. You are the franchise. And Jaxson Dart, it's not just about the Patriots. It's hits he's been taking all year long. And this isn't about being soft or physicality or whatnot.
Yeah.
It's about playing the position with long-term future in mind, and also your capability to play from inside the pocket. He doesn't have to take these hits to win games for them.
First off, that's the wrongest take Dan has ever had.
All right.
Right? Like, we can't say it's okay for Jaxson Dart to get absolutely abused because he's cool, because he wears a headband, because he's some sort of rock star. Last I checked, Axl Rose is not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Okay.
That doesn't matter. It's not about just taking hits. It's the sort of hits that you take. It's not like Jaxson Dart ever delivers any punishment. He only absorbs it, and that's the problem. When you're running down the sideline and you've gotten out of the pocket, you've shown that you're willing to compete. You're shown you're trying to get the extra yard. Don't let Ellis slide your tail under the bench in New England. Those are the sorts of hits we're talking about. Not those plays where you can help your team win and you kind of shrink from those things, but the unnecessary punishment. Dan is wrong.
America,
we are right.
America, I want you guys to give me the names of some of the great younger-ish quarterbacks that we have in the NFL. The guys that have maybe cemented themselves as great players, but they were young like 2, 3, 4 years ago. Give me the names.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen
Jackson,
took
Joe Burrow.
Josh Allen's one.
Not like that, man. I watched his entire career. He does not take those types of hits. He does not take those types of hits.
But this is the other thing, though. People say Lamar Jackson, who's a way better runner,
does not take hits like
shouldn't
that.
take hits like that.
None of the
People
top
say
guys take
Jaden
hits like
Daniels
that.
shouldn't have taken the hits that they take. Cam Newton, who was the biggest and most physical to ever do it. We talked about the amount of hits that he took and the impact it had on his career.
Okay.
Jaxson Dart ain't none of them.
Yeah,
And
okay.
Cam Newton said he shouldn't take those hits. He actually agreed with this statement.
Okay, so Jaxson Dart's got how many starts?
5?
He's got 8 starts.
6?
8 starts. Through his 8 starts, Jaxson Dart has been hit 95 times. In the same amount of 8 starts, Lamar Jackson was hit 121 times.
It does not look the same.
Okay,
That is so misleading.
Jalen
America,
Hurts.
You've seen.
Okay, Jalen Hurts was hit 116
And 2 of those
times.
starts he left with an injury.
106, different era, 116 times.
Okay.
Josh Allen was hit 108 times. Cam Newton, who you said.
Let me jump in here.
Hold on, let me finish. 100 times.
Okay.
So all those guys have been hit more than Jaxson Dart.
Yeah. So, you know, I love numbers. Sometimes numbers lie, because when you watch Jaxson Dart take hits, it looks different from all of the quarterbacks. When Lamar Jackson takes a hit, it does not look not like that Christian Ellis hit. The actual hits he's taking are different in nature from the other young quarterbacks.
You think that hits that Jaxson Dart has taken looked different than the ones that Cam Newton and Josh Allen took?
Yes, because you know why? Because when Josh Allen and Cam Newton were giving, they were delivering punishment. We watched Josh Allen slide before. When Josh Allen is getting extra yards, he's lowering his shoulder and getting those yards. And you know what he does? He gets up and he gets in Cam Hayward's face and he goes into the cuddle. You know what Jaxson Dart does? He goes into the damn tent.
Nah,
a lot of those numbers are like
era.
sneaks and short yardage runs.
Yeah.
They're being We are talking about this quarterback being hit in the
Early in
open
their
field.
career.
Yeah, but listen,
Yes,
but here's the thing, though.
it didn't look like this.
We watched him lay on the floor sleepy against the Chicago Bears. We saw them. Then when he comes back, we see him getting slid under the bench in New England.
You guys have made too
different.
big a deal about
The
this.
problem is, too, though, he doesn't want to change. He said after this is how I'm going to play. Those other quarterbacks you named literally tried to alter their game so they wouldn't take those
That's
kinds
what
of
I'm
hits.
saying, like,
they
yes.
practice sliding. They practice running out of bounds. Like, they practice
Nobody's
things to
asking
fix
him to be
it.
soft. Like you're acting like we're asking him to be soft.
Some people are.
What I'm asking him to do is know when it's over.
Yes.
Stop sleeping on the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, boy.
The Miami Dolphins are going to get to 8-7. The Miami Dolphins play the Bucks week 17 and then the New England Patriots week 18. This has become one of the best run games in football, and it's because of Devon Achane. The thing that we've said about Miami for years is when the weather turns, they're not good enough. That's different. They've completely changed their offensive identity. That guy's become one of, if not the most explosive running back in football. Just so everybody at home understands, Tua's playing not good enough. He's going to have to play better. I love their linebacker crew, but this is what I want to talk about with their offense. Achane right now in the last 3 games, in their 3-game win streak, 428 yards, 6.6 a carry, 21 first downs, 14 explosive runs. Those are runs over 10 yards. That team's dangerous right now. Don't forget about them.
That's not what the take was, though. The take was that they were going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not.
Don't sleep on them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that was the take on the sheet. Now, what you just said,
It's on the sheet.
all that's correct.
The run game is awesome.
The run game is phenomenal.
late.
The changes
I'm 2
that
for
they've
2.
made, putting it into Devon Achane's hands has been a huge difference in what Mike McDaniel has done. I agree with all that. Even on the back end, this team has played well. If you would have told me Mike McDaniel has saved his job, I would have agreed.
That would be a
with
good
that
take.
because that's the take I
It seems
agree
like
with.
you agree with the
This
other
team-
take.
This
No,
team ain't going to the playoffs.
it was asking. They have like a less than 1% chance to make the
not
playoffs.
going
They'd
to
have to
playoffs.
run the table. The teams you're playing that describe the Bucks and the Patriots both have good run defenses, so it's tough matchups. Both of those teams will be able to put up.
But I
points
think
on
they're going to
Miami.
be 8-7 going into that Buck Patriot
Does Mike
final.
They're still gonna
McDaniel
miss
keep
the
his
playoffs.
job if they don't make the playoffs?
should.
Even if
He
they
should.
don't make the
He
playoffs.
should absolutely
keep his
keep his
job.
Here's the challenge. I think, this weekend they got to play against the Jets. Supposedly their nickel cornerback is going to be a superstar, so that's a big challenge. It's a big challenge.
Jordan Clark.
Shout out to Ryan's son, Jordan, starting this weekend. So Miami block them, and then they go to Monday Night Football against the Steelers, and the chance to get to 500 and 7-7.
Interesting, down in South Florida.
I'm telling you,
There's a
this
schedule in
team is
front of
a
you.
different team now.
Right, but the
too late.
week 17, week 18, even the Bengals, those last 3 weeks, could be a little bit of a struggle.
Their linebackers, dude. Jordan Brooks and Dodson are playing phenomenal football.
Jordan Brooks is such an underrated player.
He's played well the entire year, even when this team was bad.
He was good
and it was
last
just
year,
nothing
too.
to talk about. Against the Bills, he absolutely dominated. And I feel
good
like
player.
that started this team going and playing the way that they have.
Good job. Definitive statements. Not
That
everyone
was
agrees
not
with them.
that was the worst
They're
job
literally both
he's
wrong.
ever done.
Don't be mean. Take for Dano here yesterday. Mad Dog said that 9-4 49ers are the scariest team in the NFC right now. Are you high on them as well? Do you agree?
Well, that's a dumb thing to say, Mad Dog. But I will say this. Kyle Shanahan, who's their head coach, has been to 3 Super Bowls. It's his best coaching job.
Yeah.
He's had to play 2 quarterbacks. His star tight end missed significant amounts of time. Their number 1, their number 2, number 3 receiver have all missed time. The number 1 receiver has not played this year. They lost their best defensive player, their second best defensive player, and their first-round draft pick, who was a defensive player. The fact that they are 9-4 is an unbelievable coaching job by him and his staff. It's also Christian McCaffrey re-establishing the importance that he is to his team and how great of a player he is. I would have him 4th in my MVP right now. What Kyle Shanahan is doing right now and the fact that this is a playoff contending football team, it feels like they will be in the playoffs as well, is absolutely unbelievable.
And they've won in Seattle.
But they're not one of the scariest teams.
I think he meant scary because of the coaching factor. Quarterback showdown we have in Buffalo Sunday. Joe Burrow and the Bengals are going to visit Josh Allen and the Bills, who are trying to keep pace with the Patriots in the AFC East. Meanwhile, Cincinnati will try to keep their slim, but still have them, playoff hopes alive. They are 3-0 in games Joe Burrow started this season. They have been 1-8 when he is out. He will play, though, this weekend. Which offense, though, do we think will ball out more in this one? Ryan Clark, Bengals or Bills?
Well, I think the Bengals are the better offense, and I think that's the team that will play better this week. That doesn't mean that the Bengals win the game.
Yeah.
Like that's the
I feel
that's the
exactly.
first thing I want to say. What I have loved about what we've seen in recent weeks from the Cincinnati Bengals is they're starting to get Chase Brown going a little bit, right? We're seeing some explosive runs. We're seeing physicality in the run game. And when you watched Joe Burrow operate, and, it was something like you almost forgot, right? Because you saw Joe Flacco be able to create this yardage and these explosive plays to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and you almost forgot just how damn good Joe Burrow is, how he understands exactly what he's getting offensively and where to go with the football right away, the way he can place the ball anywhere he wants it offensively. And when you think about the back end of the Buffalo Bills and also how susceptible the Buffalo Bills are to teams who are willing to consistently call the run, I think the Cincinnati Bengals will have a day offensively.
T. Higgins supposed to be back this weekend as well. What do you think?
I think both offenses have a lot of success in this one, but I'm in agreement with Brian. And I love that you highlighted the run game because it's important given the matchup, right? This Bills defense has been somewhat better against the run last week, played more base defense, Shaq Thompson on the field. If they put 3 linebackers on the field, though, against Cincinnati, they'll throw on them. And I think that's what I love watching, about this offense right now with Joe Burrow back at quarterback, is they can beat you a number of different ways. I also don't think the Bills corners match up well with these. Nobody matches up well with. So I think, and maybe someone will make the case for Allen, I think he'll have success as well. I just think this Bengals offense can beat you in different ways right now, whereas the Bills offense is more one-dimensional.
Yeah, who gets the 35 first
Right,
is
yeah,
how
that's
I feel about the game. If this game was in Cincinnati, I would say the Bengals. This game's in Buffalo, I'm going to say Buffalo. Buffalo at home, 25 touchdowns this year, 15 punts. Buffalo on the road, 15 touchdowns, 21 punts. It's just a completely different offensive unit at home. Will both tackles play? I think it's funny to talk about the game. It's like, what defense that we saw from each team last week is more real?
Yeah.
Buffalo defensively was really good against not a great offense in Pittsburgh, but at least they were physical and stopped the run. And Cincinnati, I was like, what? Why is Cincinnati's defense playing so good? Barrett Carter at linebacker was all over the field. And so it's like, which one of those units is a little bit more reality, I guess? And just because Buffalo's home, I would take their offense.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the tough part about this is, like, for Al Golden, they were still giving up explosive plays.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Jordan Battle just makes an unbelievable play on the goal line on Isaiah Likely, right, who's loose with the football. And so you think to yourself, the Bills are going to move the ball. Yeah. It's going to be about who makes the most important play in that game. In the critical football moment, in situational football, can one of these defenses come up with a stop? And I think that's what says who wins this game.
And I'd also say this, one of the reasons that Buffalo is in kind of the situation that they've been in this year is they've given the ball away.
Yeah.
And even last week, they had 2 early turnovers as an offense, and you're sitting there going, is it going to happen again? If they do that, they won't win. Because if you turn the ball over with an okay defense versus this offense, they'll hang 40 on you, even in Buffalo.
Just out of curiosity, you like the Bengals or Bills in this one?
So I know I just said I think the Bengals offense, but I am taking the Bills largely because it's at home. I also think with Bills games, it always comes down to a simple thing for me. Can they stop them on the ground? I don't think Cincinnati can.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you
Yeah, I'm taking the Bills as well. And that was the difficult part about the question, because I expect the Bengals to play extremely well offensively. But when you look at what James Cook does, especially at home, and Joe Brady just understanding who this team has to be, there's no way he watches the film from last week and goes, now I'm going to come out and get in shotgun and throw this football 40 times.
Yeah, I say Buffalo. The Buffalo defense is flawed, but they're built at least strength-wise to defend the pass more than they are the run. This isn't a juggernaut run game, although they do it a little bit more. I say Buffalo again at home.
Bills are 12-2 when James Cook rushes for over 100 yards.
He's a good player.
He'll have to do that. Yeah,
He's a good player. Let's give him the ball.
Give him
the ball.
Give him the ball. With that being said, Cincinnati, no wiggle room. They got to win this game if they want to make the postseason.